So here's a really good one about a husband, early 30s, who's handling things like a boss after his wife made it clear that she doesn't owe him anything in the bedroom. And he makes it quite clear, well, you know what, guess what, I don't owe you something either. That'll be a very good one to go over here, guys, just to show you that if your needs aren't being met, and you definitely have made an effort, and she's not, you got every reason to walk. That includes also if you're married. I mean, if you're not getting any, I mean, come on here. And I might add, if she's not getting it from you, the odds are extremely high she's getting it someplace else. And of course, what happens with some people when they realize that they're in deep trouble, all of a sudden like that, they can turn things on to try to make things better, as you're going to see. And lastly, at the end of the day, guys, most women settle. And the guys that they definitely settle for generally get very little in the bedroom, if any, right here. And that's why you be very careful with the selection process who you settle with or who you marry. Because girls will marry you just for the ring, for the wedding, and so you can provide, and they're getting it someplace else. Titled, My Wife Says She Does Not Owe Me SEX. Oh yeah? And she's right. She does not owe me SEX just because I am her husband, but I cannot take it anymore. Sexual incompatibility is hell. I've been busy drafting divorce documents with my lawyer this week. I believe it's best if we separate because we became incompatible after some time. Well, that's why you spend years getting to know your girl before you marry her. He doesn't say how long he spent with her prior to the wedding, but seriously. Or he got a bait and switch. She behaved in one way, and the second she got that ring and the certainty, boom, stop making the effort. 4 years of marriage, both in our early 30s. Hormones test came up normal. I begged her for marriage counseling with SEX therapy. Smack! You never beg. That's one area this guy's screwed up, because think about it. You think she's going to find him attractive if he's begging? I mean, really. I did everything she pointed out. She came with other excuses. You mean you did what she said she wanted? How many guys have done that? And it doesn't work. Since the beginning of the relationship, we take turns handling laundry and dishes. For other tasks, we have our own responsibilities for different rooms and tasks. It is not in the sexual department as well. She does not seem to be into having non-sexual intimacy either recently. So she doesn't want to hug you, doesn't want to kiss you, none of that stuff. Guarantee you she's having an affair. She's getting it someplace else. Come on here. Countless discussions and nothing in the end. It was not like that in the beginning, so I'm not sure what happened. Because she was roping you in the beginning. The likelihood is she obviously knew enough that you weren't going to marry her if you weren't getting some tail. But once you married her, boom. Then she found somebody else. Marriage counseling and S-word therapy did not work either. She seems happy in the relationship and daily life, but I'm not. We had sex only 2 times since the beginning of this year. That was so we're talking 6+ months. She mentioned we should start trying to have kids at the beginning of this week, and I got annoyed. What am I? Something kept for only breeding? Yes, that's exactly it. Think about it. She gets a nice guy she settles for. He can provide her a nice life. Gives her the wedding. She's not going to worry about him cheating. And gave him the bare minimum in the beginning. Now he gets nothing. But I'll dangle the carrot in front of you of the SCX if you give me kids, and that will then lock him in more. He's the guy that she has kids with, even though, guess what? Maybe she's obviously having her fun with Chad and Tyrone, or maybe she's already pregnant and needs to rush things along. I will give her the divorce notice documents next Monday, and I am torn at the relationship will end like that. I'll also leave the house as soon as possible. However, I'm sure I'm doing both of us a favor in the long run. We should separate before having kids. Just wanted to vent and get an opinion from a neutral point of view. Well, if you got divorce papers and you're serving her, then what do you mean we should separate before having kids? You shouldn't have kids with her. You're not compatible. And beyond that, her actions have shown she doesn't give a shit about you at all. Because believe me, when women love their guy, they can't keep their hands off them. For you guys that have been in relationships with women that really are into you and you can tell through their actions, right? They never want to stop touching. It's like, for God's sakes, give me a break, right? And you girls that watch this know when you're really into a guy, you want him all the time. Now to his update. He says here, she got the notice papers this Monday and was shocked. Really? Probably shocked because she didn't think he had the balls to do it. I explained to her in detail and thoroughly why I came up to that decision. I pointed out every previous discussion that we had, how there were no efforts from her side, and we simply are incompatible in the end. Amen. You don't owe her an explanation at this point. You've tried. There was crying and arguments again. Of course he got the waterworks. I also told her I would be going back to my hometown to settle in my premarital house. It was my mom's house, but she passed away. We shared it 50-50 with my sister, though. I gave my share to my sister later. We had to move up to our current city due to my wife's job. A lot happened that day, but I will not give details as they are mostly personal. Okay, it was a big mess. I noticed he moved for her. This whole relationship is all about her, and that's a big mistake for him. The next day I started packing important things, and out of nowhere, my wife became the most sexual person on the planet. She came to me with lingerie, sex toys, costumes, and approached me. I'm going to be honest, I had a very hard time resisting, but rejected her advances every time. She's the woman I love and desire after all, but I do think not staying in this marriage will be healthy for either of us. So, how interesting that the next day she's showing up with outfits, lingerie, costumes. Like I'm wondering what the costumes are. Toys. I'm wondering what these toys are here. Someone that is like, say, asexual or just, or maybe some people suspect maybe she's, closet lesbian, wouldn't be doing that. That is the act of someone that's desperate and showing that she's capable of spicing things up for him, and showing that obviously that this is something she's used to. Where'd all these toys and costumes and lingerie come in one day? Maybe she went down to the local spicy store. I don't know. But the point is, obviously something's going on here with her. I'm currently staying in a hotel with important belongings. I changed my passwords and handle other shared things. My sister will come next week to get me, and I believe I'll be staying in her place in our hometown for a while. At least until beds and furniture are delivered to the house. Some Redditors point out that she may be cheating on me, but she's not giving me reason to be suspicious of. Smack! Come on, bro. Really? You said you hooked up before you got married, maybe in the beginning of your marriage, and all of a sudden screeching halt? There's got to be other behavior going on, like her on her phone all the time, and I mean guarding her phone, suspicious, coming home late, work trips, girls' nights out. There's got to be other behavior going on here. If she ain't getting it from you, getting it someplace else. And the way she behaved here, come on. Don't be blind. I trust her fully. Smack. Bro, you should never trust anybody fully, especially a woman. I just wish we were more compatible in the intimacy department. She's trying to reach out to me, but I reject her calls and do not read her texts. I made it a few days of peace and silence to get myself ready for everything coming. Thanks for the advice and suggestions on the last thread. Take care. Well, good for him, but I have a funny feeling if she tries hard enough, she may get him to change his mind. But guys, you all know darn well what's going on here. Obviously, she's getting to someplace else. And again, if she's asexual, then guess what? The costumes and the toys and all that, all of a sudden bombarding him with attention. Now, sure, she's desperate and doesn't want to get a divorce because it rocks her whole plan here. Anybody can get desperate, but still. I think that if he did some digging, he'd find she was cheating. I just don't buy it. I've done too many of these stories, 3,000 plus over my 3 channels. I've been around the block in my 46 years on this planet. No, so good for him ending it with her, and she now learns a lesson. Now a couple comments. One guy says here, it's a little insulting that your ex-wife only became open to sex after you gave her the divorce papers. It showed that she could have made the effort, but consciously chose not to. She considers her happiness worth the effort, but not yours. Proceeding with the divorce is the right thing to do. You're not the problem, your ex is. You can find happiness with someone else. Well, I agree with all that except for you can find happiness with someone else. Find happiness within yourself. Being who you are. Doing what you love. Around people that truly care for you, have your back and all that. You can't get your happiness from other people. People that do that are destined to be disappointed here. Are there good gals out there? There are some. I'm not one of these types that says they're all the devil, but I am the type to say they're all capable of becoming the devil, depending on the circumstances. But he needs to work on himself and figure out where areas that he was going wrong. Clearly, he was the nice guy that she settled for and all that, and things like this usually turn guys into being, especially if he finds out she's cheating, turn nice guys into total assholes overnight, and he'd be shocked with all the tail he was getting after that. And one more. This guy says, wait, so they were having sex, but she had the sex toys at hand. Ding, ding, ding. I really think she's been cheating, hence why she's so happy with your sexless marriage and wonders why you're upset about it, because she gets her need fulfilled someplace else. But even if she's not, her desperate attempts to have sex with you are manipulation. She's doing what she thinks you want in order to keep you locked in. Hell, she might try to get pregnant. As she mentioned she wanted to keep you from leaving. Don't do it. Yeah, think about that. She knows he's out of there. His foot is out the door. Okay, I'm going to seduce him, sleep with him, and, oh, well, I got pregnant. You're not going anywhere. Even if she got pregnant, I wouldn't stay with her. No way. And even if the kid is his, I wouldn't stay with her. He's going to take care of that kid if the kid is his, but don't stay with her. And one more. Says here, if she wanted to, she would. She did not want to before, and should have. The signs were loud and clear. The writing was on the wall. She still chose not to, and she's doing it now means that she could have done so before. What she's doing is part of the bargaining part of grief. She hasn't fully accepted that there is going to be consequences to her inactions. Eventually, even if you do love her, she must come to accept that both of you are very different in the bedroom. Both of you are very different in the bedroom, and she needs to find someone who's on her level of bedroom activities. She may or may not figure this out eventually, and if you like, you can sit her down and explain this if she doesn't make the same mistake with another man. No, don't waste your time. She's no longer your problem. She's demonstrated through her actions. She doesn't give a shit about it. And remember, he mentioned it wasn't just the hook it up part. All other levels of intimacy were gone too. No hugging, no kisses. Come on here. No, there's no fixing this. After that, well, it's up to her. You've done what you could, and now you have the rest of your life to find someone who matches you better. You mean someone that isn't a cheater or something like that? So anyhow, this guy handled this right. I wish him the best. I just hope he isn't foolish enough to get seduced by her, because I guarantee you, magically she'll be pregnant. So good luck, buddy.